Before I start this video, I wanted to say shout out to my boy Jordan for this video idea. But yeah, we're going to be talking about the ocean today. Like, the ocean is actually huge. I did a quick Google search and it says 0.001% of the ocean's like seabed, like the floor of the ocean, has actually been discovered. So that's actually kind of crazy when you think about it. Like, we're living on a planet where you don't even really know what's in the ocean. Like, people don't really speak about this, but when you really think about it, like, most of the world is water. Most of the world is actually like water. Like, yeah, we got land and we got continents, and we live on continents, like we live on the land. But when you really think about it, like, the ocean is so big and so vast that there could be all sorts of crazy creatures down there. Like, when they talk about like the Kraken, which is like this big octopus, or huge sharks, like, the movie like Megalodon, and they talk about these huge sharks, or they talk about like these fish that can go invisible, and these really huge squids, and these really huge, octopus, and all these kinds of things. It kind of makes you think sometimes, like, what could actually be in the ocean? Like, I know people have even said there's actually like hardware storage, like actual storage facilities underwater, so they don't actually overheat. Like, there's some sort of underwater base or underwater military bases, or there could be all sorts of crazy stuff in the ocean, and people don't really talk about that. But yeah, sometimes, like, I think that in the ocean, it's not just fish and just sharks and these things. There's got to be more stuff. Like, yeah, there's oil rigs and these kinds of things in the middle of the ocean, and they got those like military base kind of operations going on, and they got Navy SEALs and these kinds of things. But even when it comes to submarines and stuff, like, how many submarines are actually in the ocean? Like, sometimes you really got to think that there could be all sorts of submarines, all sorts of like nuclear technology, all sorts of like future technology, robotic technology going on, because there's all sorts of underground houses and stuff. They talk about Atlantic, and there was this whole city of Atlantis back in the day, and that could really be underwater. But sometimes when it comes to underwater, I think that there's a lot of stuff that people don't discover or think about, because even when you go to the beach and stuff, like, you're only really going a little bit in the water. You're not even really going deep out into the water, and things like whirlpools, things like holes in the ocean, these kinds of things, they really could be out there. And not a lot of people got boats like that. If you really think about how many people have gone on a plane and just flown and look out the window, and you see these little islands, and you think to yourself, like, you really don't know what's going on in the middle of the ocean. And it's really big. Like, most of the world is ocean. So sometimes I think that, like, when it comes to the ocean, there could be not even just fish, but like, I'm talking people could have full underground houses built in, like, billionaires. I'm talking billionaire rich people could have like properties and things underwater that like nobody knows about, and you have to only access it through like a certain kind of submarine. Now, I'm not trying to talk on conspiracies and things, but I really think when people talk about underground bunkers and this and that, like, you don't know what's going on under the water. Like, when you go to the beach, you're not going deep into the ocean, and sometimes you got to think outside the box a bit of like, what's going on out there? Like, what's going on out in the sea? Like, these fishermen who go and get all these fish, they must have seen some crazy stuff in the ocean. Like, even pirates back in the day. Like, what happened to all these pirates back in the day? What happened to people who used to go on boats and explore the world? And people said, oh, they used to go on boats and then go to like the Caribbean and go to America and go to Europe on these boats. And there must have been some mad stuff going on in the ocean. Even though, like, the Bermuda Triangle, the Bermuda Triangle, and boats go missing in that kind of area. And then even with the Titanic, there was that whole ocean gate. They were going into the Titanic to try and, like, I don't know, why are you guys going in this little submarine to go see the Titanic? It's a bit weird when you think about it. Like, why are they going there? Like, to do what? Okay, see the Titanic, what, to try get gold, to try get treasure, to try get what? Like, there must be something on that boat for them to spend billions of pounds, millions of pounds building these machines to go see it. Like, to see the ocean, there must be stuff there that they want to see. Like, I feel like there must be all kind of treasure, all kind of pearls, and mysterious things that people don't know about in the ocean. Like, there's got to be stuff in the ocean that people don't talk about or people don't know about that's there. I'm not just talking gold and silver, but there might be all sorts of like new crystals or new kind of material that we don't even know, haven't even discovered. Like, chameleons can change color. There's got to be fish that can change color, or fish that go invisible, or these kind of crazy anglerfish, or these deep sea ocean creatures structures that people don't know about. I'm going to do more research on this. This is actually something I'm going to do research. I'm going to do research on underground and what's going on in the ocean, and I'll make a full video on it. If you guys want to see that, let me know, and I can do like a deep dive into the ocean, maybe like an iceberg or like a tier list. But let me know if you want to see that, because I'm really interested in the ocean.